Very good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for this pre-match press conference with Temba Bavuma. It's 3 o'clock here in South Africa, and it's 11:30. Oh, sorry, here in Sri Lanka. Did I just say South Africa? In Sri Lanka, and it's 11:30 in South Africa, so good morning to you all. As usual, I'd just like to remind everyone to please put your requests for a question on the chat panel. For anybody that's new to our platform and to our press conferences, please note that we don't recognize raised hands. We put our requests on the chat panel, and please remember to mute yourselves if you're not asking a question, and you may then unmute when you do ask your question, and you may also use your video function. Thank you so much, and without further ado, we're going to start with Nathan, then Ken, and then Vuyo. You can take it away, Nathan.
Cool. First, I just want to say congratulations to you, Sipokazi, for your award yesterday. I have two questions. So Temba announced his retirement yesterday on social media. You mind expressing your thoughts on the impact he has had on Cricket South Africa and maybe personally for yourself too?
Cool, thanks, Nathan. Yeah, I heard of the news yesterday of Dale's retirement from international cricket. I mean, I had the pleasure of playing with Dale. Well, when I joined the team, he was obviously one of the senior players within the team. One of the guys who welcomed me and made me feel a part and that I belonged within the team. I mean, his achievement, his statistics obviously speak for himself. You know, he's a legend. He's a GOAT, as the guys would call him. And I think, you know, we wish him, well, I obviously wish him well in his future endeavors. He's definitely had an impact and a role that he's played in us younger guys who've come into the team, and we'll be, you know, trying our best to carry on what is left behind.
All right, and then the last English question: how has the COVID protocols been in the lead up to the first ODI?
Yeah, these ones have been a bit stricter. I think, you know, looking at Sri Lanka and the situation, the COVID situation, and the fact that the country is under lockdown, is probably the reason why. But you know, we were obviously expecting it as a team. It hasn't really come as a surprise to us, and I believe we are managing well under the circumstances.
Thanks very much, Nathan, and thank you for your congratulations. Just a reminder, please, everyone, if we can start with one question each. I do understand the Dale Steyn question and then moving on to the next one, but if we can start with one question each, please, and then we'll move on to a second round if we do have time. Ken, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks, Sipokazi. Very many congratulations to you. Well deserved. How's it, Temba? No Quinny tomorrow. Who keeps? Is it Heinrich or Kyle, or are they both in the team like they were for the last ODI you played? And the Proteas haven't won an ODI series for, I think, 18 months and haven't won a series away from home for nearly 3 years. What needs to happen in the ODI squad to fix that record?
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, it seems as if every time we play a series, there's always something that we haven't done that it seems as if we have to overcome as a team. I think obviously we come here to Sri Lanka, you know, in foreign conditions to us, and you know, our main aim is to obviously win the series. I think it's as basic as that. I think we can't focus on too much that has happened in the past. Yes, we can learn from it. In the position that I've been, I mean, I've only been in this role as captain for the home series against Pakistan, against Ireland, the one that was affected by weather. So, I mean, I think there's still a lot, you know, for us to overcome as a team. But I mean, what's in front of us now is this Sri Lankan tour and to get the right results in our favor. In terms of the Heinrich and Karl answer, obviously they still have to finalize the squad, the starting 11. But I think either person that comes in to keep Clausen, Verena, I guess whoever's in the starting lineup, we're confident that they can do the job.
Vuyo Fidos, somebody by the name of iPhone, and then Kanyiso. Nathan, you can go with your Xhosa question at the end. Thank you.
Thanks, Fogazi. Good day to you, Temba. Just with everything that's happening here at CSA, Temba, I think you guys have the opportunity now to sort of put out a display that would sort of send out a certain message to South Africa that possibly all is still well with cricket. And maybe I just want to get a sense of the attitude within the players right now. And if there is a specific message in terms of the display that you're going to be putting out, what sort of message would you want to send to South Africa now to say, despite that everything that is happening, whether behind closed doors, something is still right with cricket in the country?
Yeah, I think with what's been happening behind closed doors, as you put it, our responsibility, our role as players is to make sure what we do on the field is at a certain standard, and that's what we'll be striving to do. As I said, our aim here in Sri Lanka is to win, and that's where our mind is at. The conversations have largely been centered around that, as to how we can play our best cricket here, and that's where our focus is. And I think as players, there's no need for us to get involved in other external matters, but our focus is what we want to do as a team.
Fidos, followed by iPhone, Kanyiso, and Telford.
Hi, Temba. Temba, obviously you're without three big name players for this ODI series, and there's World Cup Super League points to consider. Can you just tell us how you're planning on kind of juggling the team, but also is it a big miss to not have these guys considering you got to get points?
Thanks for those. Yeah, I mean, we are missing, I guess, key players within the team. With those key players, there's experience that we're missing on the field. In saying that, I mean, we back the guys who I guess coming in for those guys to do the job, and I don't think we need to shy away from that. If there's ever a time that you want to give those guys an opportunity, it's now. When the stakes are, I guess, when there's a lot on the stakes, like you said, we're trying to accumulate as many points as we want for to qualify for the T20 cricket. I mean, to qualify for the 50 over campaign. But I mean, I don't believe that we are compromising on ourselves and the fact that we're missing a couple of guys. So yeah, I think it's a massive opportunity for those guys coming in. It's a massive opportunity for everyone coming in to put in the performances for the team. I mean, ideally, if you have a situation where you can select from a pool of 15 guys who can put in match-winning performances for the country, that's very ideal. And the only way to grow that base is by giving guys those opportunities.
Thanks, Tams. Can Mr. or Miss iPhone please identify themselves prior to asking their question? Thank you.
Sorry, guys. It's me, Rex Clementine. I'm new to the system, so apologies. I just want to ask from the captain, Dasun Shanaka, before your press conference, spoke about depending heavily on spin to beat South Africa in this series. If you can speak on as to how well prepared you are to take up that spin challenge, and on your own spin options that you got, compared to a couple of years ago, South Africa do have some good spin options. So if you can just talk through that.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess, I mean, the awareness, we did expect that the conditions that would be presented would be favoring the slower bowlers. So, I mean, we've tried to prepare ourselves as well as we could from a mental and a skill point of view. We've put in the work, and I guess for us now it's about us trusting that we've put in the work and that under pressure, we'll be able to put in the performances that we need to do. We looking at our bowling attack as well, I think there's a bit of balance within our bowling attack in that if the pitches, are seamer friendly, we've got options to exploit that. And then if the pitches do favor our slow bowlers, which we're expected to do so, we do have the slow bowlers to be able to be effective. So yeah, I think we're quite well equipped from a bowling point of view. Yeah.
Thank you, Temba, and thank you, Rex. Welcome to this press conference. Up next is Kanyiso and then Telford.
Good morning, good afternoon. Is it possible by using a ngokanye ndilinde xa kuphela press conference?
Ngicela ulinde ekugqibeleni.
Sawulinda ke, it's fine.
Thank you. Just as a translation, Kanyiso will ask his question at the end. Telford, over to you.
Hello, Temba. You're going into the series obviously without Enoch and Kwe, and I think it's fair to say he's probably the most respected assistant coach in international cricket. Can you tell us what the team will lose because he's not there? And do you know his reasons for leaving?
Thanks, Telford. Yeah, I guess this is our first official series without Enoch, who obviously played the role of his assistant to Mark Boucher. Quite a big loss. I'd like to think to the team. From a tactical, strategic point of view. For me personally, he was a good soundboard, a person who I used to test my ideas against. And I guess it helped that I had experience from him from domestic level. In saying that, this is a situation that we find ourselves in. And I think, like Shamsi said in his earlier press, life goes on. And there's not much that we can do as players, at least from this point here on. The reasons to him leaving, to be honest, Telford, as a team, we haven't had an official, I guess, forum or space where we've had the opportunity to hear from Enoch himself as to what his reasons are. A lot has been speculated within the media, and I don't think it would be fair on me to further add on that speculation. As a player, I can only wish him well in his future endeavors. And I'm sure wherever he is, he'll be supporting and rooting for us.
Thank you, Temba. Sorry, I just lost sight of my my chat panel. Kanyiso, oh, sorry. Ken, you can go again.
Thanks, Sipakazi. Temba, in the official CSA statement about Enoch's resignation, it said one of the reasons was he was not happy with the team culture and environment. As captain and someone who was close to Enoch, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, look, it does. I guess it does make me feel some type of way. Like I said, Ken, I haven't had an opportunity to have a formal discussion with Enoch. I think probably when I get back to South Africa, I'd like to sit down with him and maybe unpack it a bit. Like I said, those could be. I'd like to hear it from him. He's the subject here at the end of the day. And if there is merit, to his comments, if there is validity, as a member of the team, it's something that I will take on board and have a discussion, amongst the team. In saying that, some of the senior players within the team, conversations have been had. We've looked at ourselves as a team and seeing, how best we can do things. That's not to say that, the culture is it's an unhealthy one. I think every team has areas in which they can improve on, and you have to have those conversations, to identify those areas. But I think in terms of understanding it a bit more from Enoch's point of view, probably when I get back to South Africa, when things have kind of toned down a bit in terms of the schedule. I'll have a conversation with them and then see what comes of it.
Shamigan, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. You're up next, and then we'll have Fidos, and then we'll move on to the Kosa questions.
Yes, thank you. And Temba, we heard a bit from the Sushan that it's they're gonna go 3-2 spin attack, spin dominant, and of course having 4 rounders in Dhananjay Silva, Dasun Shanaka, Chamika Silva, Chamika Naratna, and of course Vanidu Asuranga is gonna be added batting strength to them. So to tackle that, I hope that you also will be looking at spin dominant attack, and we know if that is the case that there's going to be Maharaj and Shamsi as the first choice. But does that mean that there'll be a debut for George Lindell as given credentials to his batting abilities also? And anything about that sort? Who will be that third spinner if you are going to use?
Okay. If I get you correctly, your question is basically whether George would be making his debut to bolster our spin resources. If that is your question, I mean, I can't speak to what the team is. Like I said, the team will be finalized after today's practice. You know, I believe that George in the squad, so I mean, he is an option. But then again, you know, like I said, the coach, the selectors, my bit of input, you know, they'll finalize the team.
Thank you, Temba.
Thank you so much. Fidos?
Temba, sorry, just to take you back to your team culture, can you just give us a glimpse into, I mean, how do you feel about it? Are you happy with the way that the team functions and is the culture thriving?
Thanks, Fidos. I think, I mean, culture is something, it's an ever-growing thing, to be honest. You know, if I look at, you know, when I came into the team, 2014, 2015, you know, there was a certain type of team culture displayed in the public through Protea Fire. And that had a certain, I guess, purpose, certain meaning behind it, you know, and the main custodians, you know, the guys who had that responsibility of building that culture, unfortunately not here, guys like, you know, Faf, JP, Dale, AB. Now you have a different set of senior players who now have that responsibility of building a new culture. And I think that is still within its early stages. And I mean, for us, it's about, you know, the younger guys instilling those values, the right values, and cultivating that the culture. So I think it is in that stage. For me to say whether it's a bad culture, you know, I don't think it's at that point, to be honest with you. What I will say, it is something that we are still cultivating. And I mean, conversations are happening amongst the team. You know, hard conversations are happening amongst the team, are happening amongst management levels, conversations that are challenging each other, all, you know, with the view of us cultivating an environment that allows guys to play at their best, but most importantly, have that proper sense of belonging. I think the other thing that we need to consider as well is that, you know, we've got 2 captains, in myself and Dean Olga. And I mean, Dean and I, you know, give ourselves opportunity to share ideas as to how we'd like to take the team. He obviously has his philosophy of doing things. I have my philosophy of doing things. So getting us to meet at some type of a halfway, you know, there is that balancing act. But yeah, like I said, I've said a lot, but I think in terms of the culture, for those, you know, it's something that we are cultivating. I mean, it's definitely not anywhere near the end product, if I could say.
Thank you.
Nathan, you're up with Kosa.
Thank you, Spogazi again. Lo mbuzo ulandela kulaa mbuzo kaTalford. Coach ngesiXhosa bhuti kudala abantu bebuza umuntu wayengusekela kamqeqeshi uEnoch indeme yakhe biyintoni kweli qela kakade.
Indima yakhe leyo ibekayo futhi kuba Enoch ebelisekela ka-Boucher. Anokwazi uyibeka ngelinye ihlobo. Indima yakhe ukuba ancedise uBoucher apha afuna uncediswa khona. Kum ke njengomdlali endandisebenza naye kwaki-domestic level, wayengumuntu endimsebenzisa kakhulu ngendlela ukuba wayendicebisa ngento ze-tactics, ngento ze-strategy. Wayendicebisa ukubana ndingakwazi uhlobana njani nabadlali bam. But as uyibekile indima yakhe ibelisekela ka-Boucher.
Awesome.
Kanyiso, and then we'll finish with we shall finish with, sorry, I'm just having a look at the last close-up question request. Ongama.
Masibulele Sipokazi, unju nguphumelela ke izolo kwiza awards. Bye, mandibulise manikuwe. Ngexesha ke wawutyunjwe ungumkhokheli, bukhe wacinga uba mhlawumbi uzaba nomceli umngeni ungaka ngoba kwimpatha yakho usaqala nje uba kukho lo mba womqeqeshi wakho, umqeqeshi uMark Boucher exoxa le miba ngapha e-SGN, ngapha kunosekela mqeqeshi ohlayo. Nje wesibini okhawulezileyo uba ke nibumbana njani ke niliqela kwexesha linzima ngapha kwasebaleni?
Inkosi Khanyisa, sizama uzidibanisa le mibuzo ngendlela endizayiphendula ngayo. Ngexesha ndilifumanayo lithuba ndinyulwayo as umkhokheli. I mean into eyafikayo kum I guess kukoyika. Kodwa ke at the same time ndandinemincili ngale ndima ndizothi ndiyidlale apha kweli qela lethu. Ndandinganoyicingela ukubana akuzobakho into ezinje. Kodwa ke ndandiyilindele ukubana it wasn't gonna be into yayingazuba yindlela ehlaya, yayingazuba yinto elula. Akho nto noyenza Khanyiso, sendilapha ngoku. Mna umsebenzi wami ukenza make sure that abadlali bakwi-space ukubana bakwazi udlala i-game yabo, the best game possible. Ukwenza make sure ukubana thina siyawina as iqela. Into ezenzekayo kwinto ze-politics, iingxabano zangapha apha etimini, thina sizingena ezo zinto. Mna ke phofu andizingeni ezo zinto. Amandla wam awafiki apho. So apho ndijonge khona bhuti is that mna funeke siyenze make sure uba siyawina siliqela. Enye nenye izolungiswa ngabo abafakiweyo kweza positions.
Ndiyabulela ke bye.
Ndiyabulela Khanyiso. Ongama. Ongama. Going once, going twice.
Ngawuthanda lo mbuzo bakaphenduli.
Ungabuza wesithathu.
Oh, okay. Bye. Khawutsho man, lamanqaku man andithi funeke ni balance ukulungiselela ku-T20 wendebe T20 World Cup ngapha. Funeke niphinde nizame ufana amanqaku le ODI League. So khakho nje usicacisele kuba uhamba njani la ndlela iphakathi uba nibe leqela elilungileyo for i-T20 World Cup, niphinde ngapha nithathe namanqaku lelo aphosileyo ke-Ireland ngexesha benityelele kwela cala.
Ngamanye amaxesha iyathanda ukuba nzima kuba as usitsho sizama ubhala apha yi-T20, iphinde ngapha ibe ukuzama uqualifya for i-World Cup ye-50 over. Indlela esizama udila ngayo ukubana siwayela ne-50 over ngoku, esiba siyazi siyaqala ngomso, and into ebalulekileyo ukuthi ukubana ukuqiniseka ukubana siyaphumelela phana kula 50 over. I-T20 izolandela. I mean into esincedayo ke that abadlali abadlalayo i-50 over bayafana nabadlala i-T20, so noko ikhona la momentum nala consistency esifumanayo. But into ngoku engamandla noko lapha phambi kwethu le 50 over siqokelela amanqaku asinokwazi uwafumana. and in 20 overs sizayibona yona kwa next week.
Thank you, Meneer.
Inkosi kakhulu Khanyisa. Ongama, are you with us?
What's this in corner?
Okay, you can ask your question. You'll be the last one. Thank you.
Enkosi Simolo Temba. Mina ndo ngikhalo uyibuza mina bhuti ne into yobana wena as a better yabo expectant one from since you're a bit of
Ongama, we're losing you in bits and pieces.
Expectant one kuTemba kule ODI series and okay ndiyabuza neba singabathi nafuneka expectant one kuTemba kule ODI series kuTemba as a batsman. More especially into yobana like bungascore runs ezininzi kwi-ODI and uyibona ibaluleke kangakanani into yokuba ibe yi-captain eyenze runs in terms of ukuleader from the front xa uyi-captain. Ndiyavakala?
Yeah, iline yakho ibiqhawuka but I think ndibambile umbuzo wakho. Ingibalulekile into yoba umkhokheli akhokhele from ngaphambili. Now obviously ndingumuntu oqhorayo, so ibalulekile into yokuba in terms of i-runs ndiyascora apho. Andiqondi uba ndivumelana nawe ncamncam into yokubana kwi-one day cricket bendingaskori. Andiqondi uba ndivumelana nawe apho, kodwa ke in terms of injongo zam ebabentshilo ukukhokhela from ngaphambili, ndibonise indlela kwabanye.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for all of your questions. I will, as always, make the link to this interaction available as quickly as possible. Have a fantastic remainder of your day, and we will chat to you guys tomorrow at the post-match press conference. Hopefully the weather holds. We do have a 90% weather, we do the weather update says 90% chance of rain. So we'll hope to have a full game tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Temba. Good luck.